us your name.
My name is Jennifer Rowe.
And you have a story to tell us, don't you, about your son?
Yes, he is 13 now. So he was born in 2002.
How was he when he was born?
He was good. He was a week early, but he was good. And
did he have the Hep B at birth?
He had it the second day, yes. And he didn't really have a lot of well visits because he was sick from 2 months on. And we were at the doctor a dozen times his first year, and we were vaccinated.
So he had
every time.
He had his baby vaccines. Do you remember exactly how many he had?
All the ones that you have to have in Alabama. He had the whole course of Hep B, the DTaP, varicella, the hip. He had everything, and he got the MMR at 15 months, and that was in with a course of shots. So he also had the DTaP, and there were a bunch all at once. And I know that he shouldn't have had anything else with the MMR now, but I knew something was wrong, and I just suspected. And he was sick a lot, and I eventually ended up quitting work because you can't. I was a single mother, and we were at the doctors all the time. And he had asthma. He got asthma. He had eczema, and everything. He was on antibiotics constantly.
So every time, a bit like Billy really, every time you went to the doctor, he just gave you another course of antibiotics for your son.
Yes. You can look at the pictures from before his last course of shots, which we never did anything after 15 months. That was the last, and that was the big one, the MMR. And you can look at his pictures, and I know that he was there before, but he was gone after. You can see, and he just looks sick, glazed over. Even when he wasn't on antibiotics, he was always, and it took till he was 3 to navigate the system, to get somebody to listen to me, to visit multiple doctors, multiple tests, and it was very difficult to get somebody to even talk to me about autism in Alabama. They just wanted to send him to feeding therapy. They just wanted to send him to speech therapy. And he was almost 4 by the time he talked. And we were lucky that we did find people, but as I've gone back and looked at the timeline in his records, I went back to his pediatrician, and after somebody, the neurologist, I was worried that he was having seizures. I had seen his eyes roll back in his head, and the neurologist said, these are very subtle, like autism symptoms. And then the next visit to the pediatrician, she tried to put us on clonidine and Risperdal, and it's just
to heal the autism-like symptoms.
Right. We got no help. He was hung out to dry, and it's heartbreaking that anybody has to go through that and deal with. He never slept till he was 5. He never slept through the night. I feel like I heard somebody talking the other day about having this special bond with their son, and their son was always hugging them, and I said, I didn't get that. When he was little, he didn't want to be held. I didn't hold him when he slept. He wouldn't let me. He wanted to stand up, jump around, and we had a hard time getting a diagnosis because he engaged people, but it wasn't comfortable engaging. It was, in parallel play, but he just wasn't there. He was going through all the motions, but he wasn't there, and he never quit moving, ever. And it's
tough.
Yeah, and I'm very fortunate that I'm very fortunate that I knew something was wrong, and I didn't take anybody's word for it that nothing was wrong. I just kept looking. I just kept going from one person to the next till somebody could help us. So for the past 10 years, we have done things to recover him, and we'll continue to do that because he'll never be able to detoxify well on his own. We have to be careful, and have to pay attention to what he eats. And I mean, we're a lot luckier than a lot of people. I got him potty trained at 3. I got him to swim at 5. You know, we just kept doing it until it's, and
we're luckier than most people because our children survive.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm so grateful because I don't know what would have happened if we would have had a flu shot, or if we would have continued and got his second MMR.
It's tough out there, and every parent is doing the best they can, and your story is one of hope because your child got immeasurably better than you were told that he would be. And
yeah.
We were so grateful to you. You've got a lot of heart, a lot of love, and
Thank you, Polly.
Thank you so much.